Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I think you know the Hippocrates statement or pledge or order or command, do no harm. That is, if you see someone in trouble or you want to fix a problem, the first rule is if you get involved, don't make it worse. So if you have a splinter in your finger, okay, don't cut the whole hand and you fix the problem, but you know what I mean, you're going to have a hand. So it seems like this is the case with the oil that, as you know, G7 imposed or voted or agreed to impose an oil cap on, a price cap on the oil, the Russian oil, in order to make Russia have less revenue from selling its oil. The thing is, this kind of sanctions will not hurt Russia necessarily as it will hurt us, because Russia will sell someone else and you're not going to have Russian oil, or you have to subsidize somewhere something. The problem is, let's say Russia decides not to sell oil because of that, which they said, this is said in a retaliatory measure, we're going to do this. If that happens, we will not sell you oil. We will not sell you oil. We're going to sell oil to friendly countries, which is about 80% of the planet. And then, if you remember, only about 20% of the countries in this world impose sanctions on Russia, which is about 40 countries, right? About, because it's about almost 200 countries. So 20% is right. 20% you get it over there. So whatever you from 194 we get to 20% of the country would be about what, 40? I'm just saying, almost 40 countries, 30 some countries. So we have here an article from Business Insider. Russia will have markets to sell its oil at the regular price, or if it stops from selling it, we're going to have a big problem here, because the OPEC that cannot really increase its supply to fill the gap left by Russia if Russia decides to. Business Insider, September 5th, 2022. Oil prices will surge to $125 a barrel next year despite the G7 cap on Russian crude, Goldman Sachs says. So what do you think that means, 125? That means you and I will pay more at the gas pump. Definitely. And if someone subsidizes that, that means that someone either prints a lot of money, which is going to result in inflation, or will borrow the money from banks, which is more money on the market, including the interest that we have to pay, plus the money back, right? The loan, we would pay it back to the international banking systems. The energy company is going to have a kill. The banking companies industry will have a kill. The politicians will be still supported by the guys that they obviously indirectly support with their policies. And who's going to have not a kill? Can I have a mirror? And can I put a mirror over there towards you? Yeah, okay. So we will not have a kill. Some of us might have, but that's not you and I guarantee you, because if you would be one of those persons, you would not watch my video. You would be busy being somewhere in Tahiti, or being over there, or who the hell knows where you might be, in Zermatt, Switzerland, skiing or something. That's where you'll be, because that means you have lots of money and you have a lot of investments in energy companies and in banking industry, which I don't think you do, because as I said, you would not be busy listening to me. So Goldman Sachs, the ones that were just bailed out in 2008, remember that one? Two great people here, or whenever they were bailed out. So Goldman Sachs still expects oil prices to hit $125 a barrel in 2023. There was an expert, an economist, who said that in case there's going to be an oil price or oil cap done by G7 and the Russians decide to, which they said they will, then it says the price per barrel, oil barrel, would be jumping to $365. $365 all right? And now is what, about 100 or so. The bank is bullish on the commodity despite the G7's latest plan to cap Russian crude prices. Moscow may retaliate against the cap by refusing to export oil to G7 countries, strategists warned. Oil prices are likely to soar to $125 a barrel in 2023 despite the G7 latest arrangement to set a price cap on Russian crude, Goldman Sachs said. Any price cap will be bearish in theory, bullish in practice for oil prices due to Moscow potentially responding by slashing exports to G7 countries, the bank warned on Friday. They said that the Russians the Russians have a very high rating in consistency. That means if they say gonna punch you 3 times, then they will punch you 3 times. If they're gonna say wanna punch you 5 times, they're gonna punch you 5 times. They said it too many times, so that's why they have a very high rating in consistency. That means I do what I say I will do, good or bad. So I'm quoting, consistent with actions taken in the natural gas market, Russia could opt to retaliate, cutting G7 buyers off and shutting in production, thereby elevating global prices at its own revenues even higher. A team of strategists led by Goldman Sachs head of energy research Damian Corvalin said, today's announcement, I'm quoting, does not change our bullish forecast for oil prices, end quote. The G7, which includes Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, and United States, announced Friday that it would implement a price cap on Russian oil by December 5. Finance ministers hope the cap will reduce Russia's income from crude exports without cutting off Western countries from a major energy source as fuel prices continue to surge. These guys are just tards. But Goldman warned that any price cap would likely work differently in practice, with Russia likely to hit back at sanctions. And I'm quoting, conceptually, such a price cap is, if fully and successfully implemented, would allow Russia oil to flow while simultaneously achieving Europe's aim of limiting Russian oil exports revenue, Corvalin team said. The key risk to this policy, however, is the potential for Russian retaliations, which would turn this into an additional bullish shock for the oil market. Russia has already fought back against Western sanctions by upending Europe natural gas markets. Probably is upsetting, probably. It has halted gas flows through key pipelines like Nord Stream 1, causing benchmark prices to soar over 200% since June. European officials have accused Russia of using its energy supplies to try to stoke an economic crisis on the continent. Your decisions to sanction me, I'm gonna defend myself. How about that? With France's energy transition minister accusing Moscow of using gas as a weapon of war last week. How do you call your sanctions? Weapons of peace? Cuckoo. The Kremlin said Friday that Russia will stop exporting oil to any country that attempts to impose price cap. And I'm quoting, countries who join this potential price cap will no longer be among the recipients of Russian oil, Dmitry Peskov told reporters. We simply will not cooperate with them as regards oil on such non-market principles. Brent crude prices climbed 2.70% to cover $95.50 a barrel Monday, while WTI crude was up 2.51% to just over $89 a barrel at last check. How about that, guys? That's gonna happen, and we're gonna pay. And by the way, I'm gonna just give you a secret. OPEC refused to increase its oil supplies, so they decreased it. So that means what? Less oil. So if these guys impose the cap, or they want to impose the cap, the Russians are not selling oil to you. OPEC plus, because right now everything is plus, you know, LGBTQ, OPEC, everything is plus. All right, nothing is minus. We're a very inclusive society, but we exclude Russia because they're the bad boys. So When that's going to happen, make sure you got a lot of gasoline ready to use for your little car. Or maybe you're just going to use a bike if you can, especially in the United States. Good luck with that. All right. So thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.